Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We begin this Friday night with what the World Health Organization is calling a once-in-a-century health crisis, the effects of which we will feel for decades to come. The news especially alarming is tonight this devastating prediction from the CDC. The virus will claim 20,000 more lives in the next 3 weeks. And we want to zero in on Florida, which shattered its single-day death toll record for the 4th straight day. And on top of that, the state is now facing a possible hurricane. Hurricane Isaias is now pounding parts of the Caribbean, leading to mudslides in Puerto Rico. Florida's governor is declaring a state of emergency for parts of his state. Officials there are scrambling to shut down beaches and parks, along with most state outdoor COVID testing sites. The president was also in Florida today, holding a mini rally there at the airport, though few were seen to be wearing masks. The president today continued his attack on mail-in voting as questions arise on whether new postal procedures may deliberately be leading to delays in service and the impact that could have on the election. What's behind it? Well, tonight, Florida is one of at least 16 states where deaths continue to increase, and 28 states see cases continue to rise. And in just a few hours, special federal funding will officially run out for American families hit hard by the lockdown economy. It's a remarkable combination of events, and we have a team of correspondents with all the latest details tonight. CBS's David Begnaud is going to lead off our coverage in Miami Beach. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Nora. Two major headlines from here. Number one, there is a hurricane warning in effect for the east coast of Florida. Number two, Florida set a single-day record for coronavirus deaths, and that's the 4th day in a row that has happened. Tonight, because of the hurricane, Florida's governor has declared a state of emergency. It is the worst-case scenario, a pandemic and a hurricane at the same time.
The situation remains fluid and can change quickly, so just keep a lookout for what's going on. Make sure you have your plan in place.
That plan is being complicated by the coronavirus. Most state-run COVID testing sites have been shut down, and anyone going to a hurricane shelter will be required to have their temperature taken and wear a mask.
If you can stay at home, please do.
On Capitol Hill today, Dr. Anthony Fauci gave the country some hope, telling lawmakers he is cautiously optimistic that there could be a vaccine by the end of this year.
I don't think that we'll have everybody getting it immediately in the beginning. It probably will be phased in.
Testing czar Admiral Brett Giroir admitted that the nation was not meeting the benchmark for testing, and he urged Americans to take responsibility for keeping themselves safe.
We cannot test our way out of this or any other pandemic. Testing does not replace personal responsibility.
Today, the National Institutes of Health announced they are ramping up, investing nearly $250 million in new technologies, which they say will significantly increase COVID-19 testing by millions per week. It can't come soon enough as coronavirus cases continue to climb around the country. Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Missouri, and Connecticut have all seen their average new cases soar. There are new worries about COVID and kids. A new report released today by the CDC details an outbreak at a Georgia sleepaway camp. It happened last month, where 260 children and staff tested positive less than a week after spending time together. This comes as states are grappling with safely reopening schools. In Utah, students will be allowed to go to school even if they've been directly exposed to the virus, as long as they don't show symptoms. But in New York, officials say schools will only reopen if new COVID infections stay below 3%. Back in hard-hit Florida,
I'm hoping that the hurricane stays offshore. Right now, we're anticipating some tropical storm conditions.
look, hurricane season is already well ahead of normal in terms of how many storms there have been. Tonight, behind Isaias, there are 2 more storms that are forming. And I have to tell you, with Florida hemorrhaging resources related to the pandemic, nor the last thing people in Florida want to hear about is a hurricane.
Yeah, I understand that. David Begnaud, thank you.